radio station.
Do you even smart speaker, bro?
Listen on your Amazon Echo device. Alexa, play Rock 102.1 KFMA.
You say it, I'll play it.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, September 27th. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just kidding. You could have that Live Nation story pulled up because we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a great show lined up for you today. Lots of things to give away, including monster truck tickets, which I'm going to give away here shortly within the next 5 minutes. So be ready to call in for that. I had 2 late nights in a row. I'm like, who am I? A super rock star dude, right?
Yeah.
And did judging for the night fight, and that was a long night, but great food and awesome. And met some listeners there, so that was really cool. And then last night I went to the Rialto Theater for that Canon show with Jane Leo.
Yep.
And I went there just for Jane Leo. And they were fantastic, but they sold that out.
Nice.
It was sold out by 2 in the afternoon. It's great to see so many beautiful people on Tuesday night. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, I just want to be home. But
that's always my thing. I get there, I'm like, when do we get to leave?
I know.
Even when I'm having a good time, I'm like, I like my bed.
I know. But I mean, it was cool. It was good to see both Daniel and Jane in their element, and then I had a couple dudes, couple broskies, do the old the beef and point, right? I don't know if you've seen this in real life and out in public and stuff, but what will happen with me, and I dig it, but it will be like this: beef. And then a little point. That's what it is. It's a long beef. For whatever reason, when dudes recognize me in public, it's they say my name with 7 E's. Right? Yeah. Beef. And then I'm like, yo, and I do the point back, right? It's almost like our tips are touching. Even though we're separated for feet, but yeah, shout out to anybody who shouted out my name and it gave me the point because I pointed back. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. It was good. How are you feeling this morning?
Dragging a little. Last couple mornings have been rough.
Yeah. So you, I didn't know. Do you want to talk about your Xanax prescription?
I'm fine with talking about it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I thought only rappers with the first name Lil had prescribed Xanax. So you've been prescribed Xanax for a while?
For 3 years.
Okay.
For sleep.
And you've been withdrawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the pharmacy screwed up the prescription, and I'm not on a high dose. I'm actually on the second lowest dose. I'm actually somebody that's meant to have a benzo.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately they won't fill it for another 10 days.
So have you been sleeping at all?
No. The longest stretch I've had is 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, you do look exhausted.
I'm very tired. Yeah.
Well, I'll play a lot of up-tempo songs.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we'll have that going on. Also, I thought about a game that maybe would be perfect to play this morning called Wrap It Up. Now, I don't know if you saw this yesterday as Jane Leo was in studio. Oh, you were here.
Who's tired now?
Yeah. So I had, the past couple of days, I've been messing around with all these Rap GPT beats that I have, whether Aaron Jones in studio, having him do basically a remix of Blood in the Water, or Jane from Jane Leo doing a reimagination over a beat. I figured one way that we'll give away these tickets, because we have multiple tickets today, and later on we're gonna have some reptiles in the studio, so that'll be cool.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we'll be able to see that on the podcast broadcast stream as well. But we had Jane basically sing Falling in Reverse over a beat. Well, the game I want to play is grabbing popular lyrics, right, from a KFMA artist, and then playing that beat, and then having you rap those lyrics on beat.
Okay.
And a segment that I'm calling wrap it up.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of style, you got a lot of swagger, but you're not necessarily a rapper. And,
No, not
yes,
even close.
I know. And I'm banking on that. I want it to be so bad that like
You
tears
got
shoot
the
out my
right
eyes.
girl.
Yeah. Our top story today is changes announced by Live Nation. You were just going over this now. Fill me in, because what I saw from the headline and the takeaway was that Live Nation is now saying that they will not take merch fees from bands if they perform in clubs, right?
Right.
Now, if you guys don't know, it's kind of like a 360 thing. Live Nation has been doing to these bands for quite some time, which bands have not been happy about, is they essentially try to make money in every aspect of the show. Ticket sales, parking, and then bands merch, a large cut of the band's merch.
Right.
I mean, it's so problematic that there was musicians that went to Congress to fight against this. You know, they're saying it just, it's unfair business practices. And I can't disagree with that.
Right.
In fact, actually, one of the musicians I actually knew, and I have had on my show, is the lead singer of Lawrence, the band. You guys should look them up. They're pretty poppy, catchy group, but very talented artists. And the lead singer, I'm forgetting his name off right. Went to Congress on the floor, had a very well-spoken argument as to why this does not work.
Right.
It doesn't work as a business practice. It doesn't work on a morality clause. It's just unfair. And if you say, okay, well, then I'm not going to do shows with Live Nation. Well, sorry, they got the monopoly on mostly all venues.
Yeah, like what is it, 85% now?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and no venues here in town, and this is why we have a fewer selection of art like shows coming through town. But we do get shows like, say, Cannon's last night at Rialto that sold out, and a band like Jane Leo, who was in studio for our guests, they make their money on tour basically from their merch sales. Right. Their guarantee on the front end for being an opening band of a 3-act tour is next to nothing, really. It covers gas and food and maybe a little bit of lodging, but they're not necessarily making money. The way that they're actually turn this into a living is by selling merch and records after the show. And I don't know what the Rialto's policy is, but I know it's not as steep and unfair as some of the bigger promoters are.
Yeah, I mean, it's been previously reported that it would be anywhere from 25% to 40% of the merch cuts, which is huge.
Yeah, and that's overall gross. So, and if you're not considering like a cost of what it takes to make it, and I mean, everything else that comes into the equation. So what did they announce yesterday?
So they launched On the Road Again, which is a new program that they collaborated with Willie Nelson on to support the developing artists in these, like you said, these club shows. And basically, they're going to not take any cuts of the merch.
That's good.
So like you were saying earlier off air, like it's probably up to a certain amount, cap venue, like 600, 700, whatever.
Yeah, smaller clubs is what you got to think about.
Right. Yeah. And then they are going to be providing $1,500 in gas and travel, cash per show to all headliners, support acts, on top of nightly performance compensation.
Good.
And then they get to keep 100% of merch profits.
Good.
Yes.
And this is a way because, and they have to be smart about this. And this is only just the small step in the beginning of really what needs to be fixed and rectified throughout this industry, because it is crippling to artists, and that leads to, overpriced festivals. And, there's a ripple effect that at the bottom line is it affects the consumer, and it prevents us from being able to enjoy these shows, and prevents our favorite artists from being able to, do shows for the public in a way that is really giving and beneficial, as opposed to just money grabs and playing the game and being caught up in the system. So,
right. And there's going to be incentives for local promoters to help execute the show. So they're going to offer them financial bonuses, as well as venue crew members that have worked over 500 hours in 2023. They're donating $5 million to Crew Nation to also support those crews as well. So they're going multi-level with this.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I mean, that's something that we have to go down the rabbit hole on in the podcast broadcast. It seems like there's a lot to unpack. And a step in the right direction, and why? I mean, there's a lot of questions that are popping up in my mind. But at least that's a little bit good. It's good. We're gonna have to talk to some artists, off the record, because I don't think too many artists who are in the Live Nation system are gonna say anything outspoken against Live Nation, because they don't want to suffer the repercussions.
Actually, tonight, Alpha Wolf is playing with Motionless in White up in Mason. I'll be going up there, and Loki, their lead singer, he actually a couple months ago, made to Blabbermouth and Loudwire about his he kind of had a meltdown on stage about it.
Mhm.
He's like, we're not making any money this show. In fact, we've lost money because of this merch cut crap.
Yeah,
So I'd be interested to see if he's going to say anything tonight, being like, yeah, Live Nation, good job. Probably not.
No, of course not. And that's not a Live Nation show either, right?
That one is, yes.
It is really at Mesa Amphitheater?
Yes.
Surprising. All right, well, yeah. There's so much to get to. Okay, well, let's get the show rolling. Like I said, that'll be our top story in the podcast broadcast later on as we try to get to the bottom of if this is going to benefit us as a consumer and a concert goer or not. We have tickets to give away for the monster truck shindig that's going down this Saturday. Let me give you the proper name. It's the Monster Nitro. I don't want to hear that bumbling idiot bumble all over the place. What's up? We're live here on the podcast broadcast, a minute away from being on the air. Reminding people that we started this early. We're going to have a bunch of reptiles we're going to be showing off on the podcast broadcast stream. And with that, I actually, you should probably enter in your phone as well as far as a handheld camera so you can get some good angles on that. And so much more. So I'm Todd. I'm happy that you made it to Oregon, and you're enjoying your vacation, and you got half price weed. I'm jealous. So send all different types of pics and all that good stuff. And we have a bunch of clips that we're going to share with you today, viral videos. It's going to be a fun podcast with Weirdo and I. And I had her rap earlier, and I'm going to share that too. That's a fun clip and a bonus FML and so much. So we have 15 seconds, going to be on the air, do our Florida man story. And then welcome Mark from the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian show. And he has a bunch of different reptiles and animals. They tried to give me him at like 8:30. I'm like, what are you doing? I start a podcast at 9. I'm starting early to begin with, but at the same time, the salespeople don't understand what we're doing here. I have to go around and introduce them and just be like, hey, my name's Beef, by the way. I do the morning show on KFMA. KFMA is a station that you could sell to. I don't know. We're back here live on Rock 102.1 KFMA. The podcast broadcast is live. You should check out how lovely Weirdo looks this morning. YouTube.com/BeefVegan or us streaming on our Facebook page at KFMA. It's 8:51. We got just enough time to do a Florida man story. You want to hear it?
I do.
Let's go.
Florida man, catch an alligator in the trash can. If you can't do it, no one can. Come on now, Florida man.
Look, I've said this before, and I will repeat it, okay? If you decide to be a criminal, that's your decision, but just know that you don't get certain rights and resources. The number one right and resource is the right and resource of calling the police to help you out, right? Especially when committing a crime, okay? And our Florida man today did not get the memo as he called police. He's not a hardcore criminal. He sells weed, okay? But again, it's illegal in Florida for whatever reason.
Yeah, I still have to remind myself that there's states that still haven't passed recreational.
Yeah, I know. And you think Florida too, and they're all about freedom. They don't even have legalized weed. It's stupid. Right. And they definitely need people to smoke more weed and chill the F out over there. But, weed dealers are still a thing in Florida. And Eric Thomas, who's 33 years old, had a situation with a customer who robbed him. Now, when I say they robbed him, didn't rob him at gunpoint and take thousands of dollars and all his product. No. He, the customer in question, stole a dime bag from him, $10 worth of weed.
Got it.
Right. So Eric was trying to sell $10 worth of weed to a guy, and that's when, the guy is like, "No, I'm just gonna take this and run." So Eric, being upset about this and knowing that he was a victim of burglary or theft, called police. Over a $10 bag of weed. Now, in Arizona, this wouldn't even be that big of a deal. There's plenty of states where that wouldn't even be that big of a deal, but this is a big deal because now Eric is getting charged with possession with intent to sell and so many other felonies because he couldn't take a $10 loss from being a sucker, and while committing a crime, too stupid to know he's actually committing the crime himself, called police to back him up on this. This is super Florida man stuff. Yeah. So they say this might sound nuts, but maybe if you're dealing drugs, you shouldn't report a theft to cops.
Yeah.
I say this time and time again. So Eric, for getting ripped off for $10 worth of weed and bitching about it to the police, which ended up getting you several charges. Florida man, super Florida man.
Yep.
Good job. All right, let's hit the reset. Our podcast broadcast is live. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. On the flip side, we're going to have a bunch of reptiles that are going to be showing off in honor of the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian show that's going down this weekend at the Pima County Fairgrounds. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. God, I'm still doing the podcast. I'm like, done.
You really are running out of caffeine.
I am. And that's just because, it's the back-to-back nights, and this is why coming up on the Roadrunner season, this is how dumb I am too, by the way. But coming up on the Roadrunner season, this season, now that I've kind of like staked my claim and they take care of me, I am not doing any weeknight games at all.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Last season, I wouldn't do back-to-back weeknight games because back-to-back late nights just mess me up. I cannot recover mentally enough. For whatever reason, I hit a wall, especially halfway through the week, I'll rest up and I'll be recharged for tomorrow. But I went to Rialto last night, and of course I did night fight the night before. And even though I got to sleep in a little bit after night fight, it was still not that many hours.
Well, and just throwing off the routine. It's probably not good as it is that my routine is dependent on somebody else, but my boyfriend, normally we're up in the morning early, and I haven't had that the last couple of days because he's been sick.
Yes.
Throws me off.
So you've been feeling the same way. Rock 2.1, who's this? Morgan, what's up?
I had a question. I haven't heard Valdez in a while.
Yeah, Valdez has stepped away. He's only doing Saturday mornings now on KFMA. He went to get a full-time job to get bennies. He needed some bennies, and he's doing pretty good. He's excited. He does miss coming in the mornings, but he does pop in from time to time.
Yeah.
He might even be on the podcast on Friday. But we did have our last show of Valdez on the podcast broadcast, and a lot of people watched that on YouTube. So if you need a Valdez fix, you could always find it on YouTube.
Good to know. Thank you.
No problem. I hope you have a good day, Morgan. And I'll let Valdez know he's missed.
Yeah, let him know.
Here, I'll give you this. This is for you, Morgan, because you miss Valdez so much. Here you go.
I'm Valdez.
Lovely. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
I'm glad I got that drop, though.
Yeah.
So at least I can give people the Valdez fix. And then we have to talk with Tip. Tip is going to get his ass fired. Tip is the promo kid who's 60. He's a lunatic. We've met Tip on this stream before, and he's oblivious, and he is trying to make traffic reporting, which he does on Monday and Tuesday, like a thing, more so than Valdez. So he kept changing the way he would sign off. He'd be like, that's just a tip, and I'm the tip. And he goes, I'm the tipster. He keeps doing weird shit. And I was talking to him afterwards, and he's cracking himself up. The guy is a goof.
Yeah.
I mean, his intentions are pure. And that's the best I could say it. But I'm like, dude, you are literally going to fuck around and find out. It's bad if I'm annoyed by it, I really enjoy people adding personality to certain things, but he is
He's
damn
missing the
goofy.
mark.
Yeah, man. He wants to make it like wacky morning radio show within a 30-second traffic report. The problem is he's too slow in delivering it. And what he's trying to do is just campy and bad. And, obviously the guy across the hall gets annoyed by anybody doing anything. So it was going to be problematic, but I mean, I would be on his side in this situation because Tip is seriously trying to do some weird, wacky shit, man, where we're like, oh my God.
Yeah. When I was driving the other morning, I'm the tipster.
I'm the tipster. It's a tipster. And the way that he says it too, and it's only the beginning. I mean, what he's going to do is going to be even worse than that. He was talking about his plans, and I'm like, I keep telling him, this is not a good idea, Tip. You are going to get fired. Period. And we're about to get a new promo director in, so they're gonna, maybe that person's gonna come in, whoever gets the job, and look around and say, hey, well, when it comes to this position, traditionally, it's college students, young, fit, attractive, cool, that promote this. Maybe, just maybe, we don't need a 60-year-old grown man in this role. Right. It is very weird and outside the box. I mean, I don't want to be an ageist on this, but this is like,
Right.
this is an intern job. This is like how you break into radio. And Tip obviously got the job because he wants to be on radio. I get that. The guy is like, I've never met somebody more in my life that his intentions are so good. And he makes me so mad. I cannot help it. I'm just like, so many times.
Right, because then you feel bad because you're like, you're just so nice. God damn it.
I know. Yeah. That's like, I mean, being mad at Tip is like booing at the Special Olympics.
That is so accurate.
Yeah. Not cool. So. All right. Well, let's get Mark in studio, and to get him ready, go ahead and grab him up, Weirdo. I'm sure he's in the lobby. And then earlier this morning, we debuted a new segment I'm very excited about because we've been having everybody fuck around with these Rap GPT beats. But I'm like, Weirdo, I got an idea. And this is a brand new segment that we will do again.
Yeah, I know.
You're
so excited about it.
know.
I are you excited more so because I'm really not excited about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I want you to stay not excited, but I want you to give it your all, right?
Yes.
And really lean into it. So this is the first attempt at Wrap It Up. Check it out. KFMA, no, you got your confession session all like geared up and ready to go, but I want you to pull up those lyrics instead.
Okay.
Because I do have these tickets for this Reptile and Amphibian show that's going down at the Pima County Fairs this weekend, and we're actually going to have the the Reptile and Amphibian people in studio today in 8 o'clock hour to show off the reptiles and amphibians. It's always fun. So I do have a pair of tickets for that, and I want to try this new game, and I just want to see how this works. In my concepts, it's called Wrap It Up. All right, and I had Weirdo pull up lyrics of a popular KFMA artist and song that you hear in rotation, and I want her to try to rap these lyrics over this beat, and I need you to guess the song that she is rapping at 600 KFMA 600-5362. Now, real quick before we get into this, do you have any previous rapping experience?
No.
You ever drop an EP?
No.
You ever have a crew?
No.
Did you ever spray paint, graffiti, or breakdance?
Play the fifth.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you grew up in Tucson, so tagger for life for sure. I get it. Okay. Well, let's see how this works. I'm hoping it's really bad, but you know what? I would actually be pleasantly surprised if it was really good. The only thing I don't want is mediocre.
Okay.
Okay.
So either really terrible or really good. All right.
Yeah. So go all out. Give me 110%. Okay.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Let's wrap it up with Weirdo. Let's see what it sounds like. You guys start off with a couple yo's.
Yo.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out like a dead homie real quick.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Alan.
There you go. My
Miss
dead
you,
homie.
bro.
Yep. All right, go for it.
Last day of the rest of my life. I wish I would have known because I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. This is terrible. I didn't tell her.
Wait. No. Okay. Look. You know, save the commentary for me. You got to stay in the zone, man.
Okay.
You think Drake is like, giving little sidebars of his, performance, mid-performance? No.
Okay.
Like I said, 110%. If you're going all in on this, right, then you got to go all in.
Okay.
All right. So to have any hesitation or any self-doubt in the moment is going to take away from the performance.
Okay.
You're not going to win a Grammy with that attitude.
No.
Okay. So let's win a Grammy. Here we go. Now, again, just start off with a couple yo's.
Okay.
Shout out a dead homie. And then, you know what? Claim a neighborhood. Okay. So think of a neighborhood, and I know the neighborhood you live in is pretty hardcore. So, okay. So you say yo's, shout out dead homies, and then claim a neighborhood, and then right into the bars.
Okay.
Okay. You got this.
All right. Yo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Robo. Miss you, Paul.
Robo!
And all my homies at Alvernon and Grant.
Grant and Alvernon!
We got this. Last day of the rest of my life. I wish I would have known because I didn't kiss my mama goodbye.
Bye.
I didn't tell her that I loved her
Nope.
or how much I cared. Or thank my pops for all the talks and the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day, the same routine before I skate off to school. But who knew that this day wasn't like the rest? Instead of taking a test, I took 2 to the chest.
Oh.
Call me blind, but I didn't see it coming.
Nope.
Everybody was running, but I couldn't hear nothing.
Nope.
Except gun blast. It happened so fast. Didn't really know the kid, though I sat by him in class.
Peace.
Maybe this kid was reaching out for love. Or maybe for a moment, he just forgot who he was.
Who am I?
Whatever it was, he just needed to be hugged.
Yep.
And I know it's because we are. And I gotta cut it there,
All right, well.
because then it'll give it away.
All right, so 600 KFMA, 600-5362. What song was Weirdo rapping? And if you can guess correctly, you're going to win tickets for the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian show. It was very... Look, let me give you some constructive criticism.
All right.
It was very William Shatner-esque in the way that you were like...
Perfect.
No.
Done.
No.
Why?
No, man. I see. I don't want this poetry slam, whisper reading type of delivery.
Okay.
That's not in style right now. The kids would not jive with that. So they would not say it's lit. Let's go to the phone and see if we got a winner. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
This is Will.
All right, Will. Help Weirdo wrap it up. What song was she attempting to rap here live on the radio?
That was POD, Youth of the Nation.
Bop, 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 bop. Grand Alverdon in the house.
Yeah, buddy.
That is correct, dude. All right. He's got those tickets for the Tucson Rep. All right, so there you go. That was wrapping up with Weirdo. Whoops, sorry. Let me get Weirdo out here on the stream.
And she disappeared.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again.
ran. Yeah, I like that segment. It was good. And eventually she won't sound like the Ying Yang twins. Wait till you see mine. And we got Mark coming in here in a second. Spears and Ali, I think, are going to be popping in as well. It's going to be fun. And then to answer some comments, Sean, as far as so Valdez got a full-time job, and then Powers, he's our now what's the official title of his position? He's Sunday morning. He's our public affairs liaison, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing that. He's also working for a nonprofit directly, and a lot of like silver-haired old ladies, right? And he was concerned his reputation, it was going to affect his business. Just associating with the derelicts that are, Weirdo, myself, and Rico, and, the fun crew. But I tell you what, I could tell he's missing out and he's regretting it. And I guarantee you, I feel that Power is going to make his way back in before the end of the year, just start popping up. So, because we were having a lot of fun. This whole thing, like he literally like stepped away because just like, I can't be associated with you guys. And like, fucking nerd. What are you afraid of? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're grown men. We're, like you're in your 40s. What do you, I understand you want to be a children's entertainer, which is fine, but you could also be like an adult man hanging out with other adults.
Right.
And talking adult things. You don't have to be like graphic and sexual and stuff like that. Nobody wants to picture Powers doing it anyway, but we'll see. How about some Snoop tracks for Weirdo? Oh yeah. Well, we'll get some Snoop tracks. It's gonna be good. I mean, yeah.
No, I will fully commit, and like get into it, but like just like the Hummer game, like I just don't want to listen back to it.
You will fully commit?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We'll do it. Oh God.
Fully commit to this then, bro. And no whisper rap, okay? Now remember, you say yo, shout out neighborhood, shout out dead homies, okay? Go.
Yo. What up to all my people at Grant and Alvernon?
We're
representing.
Represent.
We gotta shout it out to Alan.
Rest in peace.
Miss you.
Dark side.
Yeah, bring him in, man.
What am I supposed to be rapping? Just anything?
You should be doing freestyle bars. It doesn't matter. Hey, Mark, good to see you again, man. Spears, get in here as well. We get Justin Spears, ESPN Radio. Sit on the outside. Mark, sit on the inside. Look at that. We got the whole crew from ESPN. I gotta stand up
Wow.
for this. This is an occasion. And I know Ali wants to bust balls because I'm not doing the pigskin pick'ems.
I will bust your balls, but maybe another time when don't have snakes in your studio.
You afraid I'm gonna sick the snakes on you? You should.
I don't really.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mark
Right
it close.
here. Oh, I'm so excited.
All right, we got a party
Hi.
going on. Rock 102.1 KFMA. You can join us visually, youtube.com/Beef Vegan, as we're getting Mark from Tucson, Reptile, and Amphibian. A society? Is it a society, Mark?
No, it's the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian Show and Sale.
Yeah, show and sale. And right off the bat. Yeah, sit right there in the middle. Get in there.
Hi,
And then,
buddy.
yeah, we got the ESPN crew hanging out in the house, too. This guy is already crawling all over the place. Grab your handheld, weirdo.
I'm a little
Oh,
preoccupied.
you know what? Actually, Spears, grab.
My phone's over here.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We gotta play
Anytime
Psycho
beef starts
anyways.
with Spears, grab.
Grab it.
The
and
next
that's
word
it.
is very important.
That's true. That's very true. All right. We're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We're going to give you all the details you need to know about this weekend's Amphibian and Reptile show. And like I said, we got the whole crew in the building. So join us, youtube.com/Beef Vegan, or keep it right here on Rock 102.1. Here's Asking Alexandria with Psycho. Clear. All right. So, grab Weirdo's phone, and then Spears, now you're going to be my handheld cameraman, and you can put it on. Here, Spears, grab that one. Are you live streaming right now? No. Okay, so see this? Like, now you're my handheld cameraman, right? So you can get everyone in there. You get you in there, get Ali in there. Yeah, see?
Yeah, you can flip to the back camera. Hi.
Oh, yeah, you can flip it too.
Oh my
All
God,
right.
are you gonna get in my hair? What are you doing?
So yeah, see, there's a little button on there. You can flip it the other way around. Let's get a close up on this. What is this lizard here?
This is a blue-tongued skink from Australia, northern blue-tongued skink.
A skink?
Skink.
You do?
Or
yeah.
as Frank would say, a skank.
Yeah. Hack. All right. So,
but they are very common in Australia, but you can't export animals from Australia. So these are all captive bred in the U.S.
Oh, really?
And
so which state was this skink born in?
Arizona.
All right. Nice. Yeah.
And they're just great animals. They eat dog food. They don't bite. They've got sharp claws. That's the only thing.
Is he clawing into you right now, Mark?
No, I'm being careful.
Yeah,
I bleed easy.
Have you guys ever seen a skink? You're like, no. Ali, you never seen a skink? Who wants to hold this skink?
My old fraternity days. I mean, there was a few skinks around, but you know.
I think I saw one on Miracle Mile.
Oh yeah.
Cell 6. We got this.
Yeah, so this guy doesn't bite. He's super chill, and then you have to breed him here. But, somebody broke the law at the beginning of this, did they not, Mark? Because if you can't, bring in outside Australian skinks, right? You could only have the ones that are born here in the United States. Then who was the first skink in the United States? Somebody smuggled that dude in.
Well, maybe the
Okay.
laws change over time.
Okay.
And so maybe 30 years ago you could.
Okay.
The Germans are pretty good at smuggling stuff out of everywhere.
Yeah.
And bringing it. And so a lot of the animals that you really can't get here from closed areas come from Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
Those
Largest
damn
reptile
Germans,
show in
man.
the world is in Germany once a year. And
that's the largest one in the world. But I mean, how big is you guys moved to the Pima County Fair this year? So that's massive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you were telling me 60,000 square feet?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we get over 10,000 people a year at the show.
yeah, easily.
Every
So
year.
where do we rank as far as amphibian and reptile shows?
Many years ago, one of the guys who goes to all of them because he's a rep for a big company.
Yeah.
He was telling me I was around 5 or 6 in the country.
5 or 6 in the country. Nice.
It's probably similar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're the man behind all this and been doing this since 2002.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I started with a friend, Larry, but he's passed away.
Rest in peace, Larry. We'll actually
And,
dedicate our next rap song to him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's grown, started as a 1,500 square foot hall, kind of a drinking club off Fort Wool and Prince or something.
Yeah.
And then we went to 4,000 and then 15,000 and now about 60. the first couple of years, it was as crowded as a 70s disco
Yeah.
in there. And so it's matured. It's still crowded.
Well, it's still crowded, even with all the space, which
Yeah.
is, it's so fantastic that you continue to grow bigger and better. And even after the pandemic break, obviously you didn't get to do the amphibian reptile shows during a pandemic.
We skipped 2000.
Yes. 20.
2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only year we've missed.
Right. So with this year, this is the first year of the Pima County Fairs with the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian
Yeah, I
show.
moved it from the Expo Center,
Uh-huh.
which is at Alvernon in the freeway. This is 10 minutes further along the freeway. That's it.
Yeah, dude. No, trust me, Mark. I will remind Tucson altogether. Like, you hit the 10, you go straight down. It's not far. Don't complain. We live in a small town. Nothing's far away. Like, get over it, right? And this is a big deal because you've gone from essentially Alvernon, almost little expo halls, growing all the way to the Pima County Fair. What are you going to bring different this year now that you have all this extra space? You have more exhibitors, more vendors. What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
yes, all.
still we used 50,000+ square feet before too.
Yeah.
This is just a little bit better layout, facility, and so forth.
Right.
Parking was a big thing.
All right, so you've been holding this skink this whole time,
Yes.
which the ESPN guys are fascinated with. Can you hand that to Andrew? Can Andrew hold it? Do skinks like beards that look like do you like wizard beards? How's it feel, Andrew?
Sasquatch beard. I love skinks, man.
Yo, you love skinks, yes, but does it feel like smooth, like a leather belt, something like that?
Why, you got plans?
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
good. I would rock those as boots, dude. I'm not that I would though.
Well,
I
you're
mean,
talking about skinks eat dog food, but I'm sure that's not their natural. They're a natural predator or something. Are they looking at this? Is it looking at the snake going, man, just put it down for a second and I'll eat that thing?
Yeah, really.
No.
You go to Australia where they're common, you'll find them digging in garbage cans.
Really?
like raccoons. They're like
Yeah.
reptile raccoons.
Reptile raccoons, yeah.
Dude,
It's the Australian trash pandas.
Ollie makes a good point though. Do they eat animals or are they like herbivore reptiles? Are there any
Well,
reptiles that
They're not, well, they're omnivores.
omnivores? Okay.
And so they'll eat animal stuff, dog food.
Yeah.
And they will eat some plants. And do they actually go out and kill stuff? I'm sure they do.
Okay. Okay.
But I've never seen them in the wild, so I don't know enough about them to tell. But
Right.
I know that people, just varying their dog food sort of stuff. That's how they keep them going forever.
Wow.
If I go to your show and I want to buy a snake or a reptile, I mean, is there any requirements? Like, can I just be like, I'll take that and, maybe throw in another 6 and I get, 7 for the price of 6? Or is there a background check? Or is there any requirement at all?
Yeah.
I mean, thinking of the gun shows, but
I mean, honestly, that's an excellent
no,
question because
it
I
is.
just tried to get a cat and I was vetted by like several different cat ladies and denied because I was not cat worthy enough.
Yeah,
You're
probably
kidding.
a good decision.
Wow.
Yeah, but is there any requirements before you buy one of these creatures?
For most stuff, no.
Okay.
You cannot own or you cannot buy native Arizona wildlife at all. And you cannot have exotic venomous snakes or lizards.
Okay.
So you can't go out and buy a cobra.
Okay.
Or a rattlesnake.
Well, you can go you can't buy them, but you can go out into the wild if you're a little crazy
Right.
and catch a rattlesnake.
Not
as long as it's-
recommended, right? Okay.
There's a few that are protected, but most aren't. And you could take your diamondback home and keep it as a pet. And
Do people do that?
I think that's illegal. I don't
Yeah.
think you should be recommending that.
I am not recommending.
Yeah, you're just saying you could.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of things. You could rob a bank,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you should not,
In,
right?
in your underwear with a water pistol. Yeah, you could do a lot of things. Yeah.
Hey, when I've come to the show here before,
Uh-huh.
I'd see a baby rattlesnake on my road. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
So I captured it and brought him into the show. As long as you have a hunting license, you can catch and possess non-protected rattlesnakes, whatever.
Now,
Who's the star of the show? When people go to the show, is there one snake or reptile that is so cool and exotic that it's like where people crowd around?
There is.
is it like a python, something really big?
Well, there's that too. But
Oh, yeah.
the Phoenix Herpetological Society has a zoo license.
Yeah.
And they bring in this huge collection of exotic reptiles from around the world.
Okay.
And one of them, his name is Elvis, is about an 8 or 9 foot king cobra.
Oh yeah. I'd want to see that. The king.
He sits in this big cage. He's usually up like this,
flexing the entire
couple feet
time.
of his body off the ground, and he's watching you as you go by.
Oh.
Eyes follow you. And
That's Graceland. Yeah. No,
it's something.
As well as you hang out with Andrew Trujillo long enough, you might as well call him the King Cobra because that's what's
That's what he does. Yeah, he just stares at people.
That's when you're like on a bad trip or just you had too much to drink and you have a nightmare. Andrew Trujillo's eyes over your bed watching you. That's the nightmare we all have.
Hey, I noticed you got a Band-Aid on you. Have you been bit by these reptiles frequently here, Mark?
When I used to breed snakes,
Yeah, all the time.
I would hatch 300 baby snakes a year.
Yeah.
And the babies like this size need to be sexed before you sell them. And so they don't like that.
Okay, so how do you
I would
sex
get
the
bit
snake?
all the time.
Right.
Recently, actually, this Band-Aid is from this guy. They have sharp claws.
The skinks, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you sex the snake? That's a whole nother thing.
Well, let's see what we got
Do
here.
you like send a gift? Do you say, "Hey, baby," first? And then
Dinner first.
Yeah.
This is called the vent.
Oh my God, he's
slot
gonna
in the back
sex
here.
the snake right
It's
now.
where stuff comes out. It's also where their penises are if they have them. And in a very special way, you roll your thumb over it, and this is a female. It does not. The penis.
I was like, let me go to the handheld cam to see the snake penis, and I flip it, and it's right on Spears' face. I didn't know it was so red.
Snakes actually have 2 penises.
Oh, what?
One for each side. Redundancy. It's kind of like an F-18, with 2 tails.
Yeah. It seems like a waste.
In case one gets blown off.
Oh, Beef, there's so many ways to go with that. The floor is yours, buddy. What would Beef do with Peni?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my one, so I don't know what I would do with an extra one.
Well, these penises, they're inside and they're hollow.
Yeah.
So when you, so they're in like this, kind of folded inward.
Mhm.
And when the snake wants to use it, he kind of blows it up and it folds out the other way and pops out the end. And so I can make him do that in a certain way.
With her hand.
Yeah. When
very
they get a little bigger, they really don't like it. And you use a probe.
Oh no.
Thin metal probe, and you poke it in there.
Yeah, they don't like that.
They don't like it very much.
No. Yeah.
And it goes in longer for a male because it's got this hollow penis it can go into.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah. So what are the snakes that you brought in? What are the species of snakes that you brought in for us?
This one with the spots is a king snake, and we have those all over Tucson.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
But they tend to be black and white bands or stripes. Some of them more in the desert areas are pure black. This one was bred in captivity. They'd basically take a snake that had more spots than bands, breed it with another one like that. You get babies that have more spots, breed those babies, you get more and more spots.
Oh, nice. All these hybrid
like
snakes we're creating now.
Called select or
that's a good looking snake.
Selection.
Yeah, no, that's a good looking snake. We're gonna wrap things up with Mark on the podcast broadcast stream and checking out these skinks and snakes. We learned a lot. We learned we could probe them, stroke them. They have 2 penises, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You guys can go see for yourself, as there's going to be so many different species of reptiles and amphibians happening at the Pima County Fairgrounds this Saturday and Sunday. The guesstimation of how many different species and animals you're going to have on display, what do you think it is, Mark?
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. Wow. Easy. Yes. So for ticket information, people can get their tickets. What's that?
Pay at the door.
Pay at the door. Simple as that. That's the Tucson way. We're walk uptown. So yeah, take the I-10 down, Pima County Fairgrounds, and then pay at the door. Ticket prices are cash money.
Cash money. I don't have a credit card reader, although most of the vendors will. So don't worry about that. Adults are $15. Kids, 6 through 12, $5. 5 and under is free. I raised the fee for the adults this year for the first time in 7 years.
Hey, man, you're working hard,
Right.
dude. You're going to the Pima County Fair. This is a labor of love. So we got more that we'll talk about with the ESPN crew and Mark from the Tucson Reptile and Amphibian show that's happening this weekend on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. More Beef Vegan presents After 5 Figure Death Punch and Rock 1 2.1 KFMA.
I love my job.
Clear.
This is great. Like, go
I
from
know.
interviewing rock stars to like, I've held the world's ugliest dog now, and then now I get to play with reptiles.
Look around. There should be another snake somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I'm kidding.
like what? What?
Does the skink have a name?
What?
Do you name skinks?
What? Just number 2.
You're number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name.
How many reptiles, Mark, do you have at your house?
Well, I used to breed snakes. I don't anymore. Stopped
That's
a long
good.
time ago. I used to breed tortoises. Currently, I've got 3 poison dart frogs.
Wow.
And we're not eyeing them.
Yeah, we're on the stream.
Yeah, but we're on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing
I
video
have
stuff.
3 poison dart frogs. They're really cool. They're orange and black, and they eat fruit flies, which is a lot easier than you think.
Yeah.
And then I've got some turtles in a pond in the backyard, but I no longer have snakes or tortoises. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine. And, you know.
All right. Well, this skink doesn't have a name. He needs a name.
Well, what do you want to name him?
Yeah, you get to name it. Weirdo, what do you, and is it a boy skink or a female skink? Usually female?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. So that was our reptile segment. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you coming in. I'll see you out there this weekend.
I did
Excellent.
it. He did it.
I'm gonna get my balls busted by Ollie right after this confession
You touched
session.
it, huh?
In case you missed it, went a little something like this.
You touched the snake.
KFMA, a little white zombie
where's
for
that
everybody
at?
that saw
And it's
Rob
lit-
Zombie and Alice
Yeah.
Cooper up at Auction or whatever they're calling it now up in Phoenix. My daughter was actually at that concert.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude, she was raging. And now she is a lifelong fan of Alice Cooper. She was pleasantly surprised and blown away by Alice Cooper. And I'm like, the old man still got it.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the original shock rocker. All right, well, it's now 6:48, and we haven't been able to do this in a minute, but Weirdo still gets these anonymous emails sent to her and DMs on her social media, weirdo_KFMA. So let's do a confession session. All right. So, and if you have something you want to get off your chest early in the morning, anonymously, confess. It does feel good to release that burden. You can confess to us, and then we might even give you some life advice. And the best way to attack or approach our life advice is do the opposite and win. All right. So, what's your first confession you got for us, Weirdo?
All right. There's a running joke in my friend group about how I'm unlucky in love and always single because I broke up with my last boyfriend 10 years ago.
Damn.
As none of them know, I've been in a healthy, committed relationship with another woman since 2020. Should I tell them?
Damn. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why you're hiding that, especially nowadays. We're at a point of understanding. We know how gay works,
Yeah.
Nothing's too shocking anymore unless your circle of friends are all like 75-year-olds.
You're right.
I think you should be okay.
Yeah.
Nah. All right.
I mean, that's the ultimate mic drop right there, right?
What?
To be able to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, unlucky in love. Here's my girlfriend.
That's right. Yeah. Here's my scissor sister. No, that's not the way that you would present that, but still.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, all right. What else you got in confessions?
All right. Last weekend, I had 2 quote unquote drunk 14-year-olds falling about my house. They don't realize that I found their flavored vodka earlier and replaced it with flavored water. They keep asking each other if they were feeling it and repeating how effed up they were.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying their booze and they are morons. I'm wondering if I should tell the parents of my kid's friend only because I want to show off how much more clever I am than these dumb kids.
Yeah. Well, no, I think if you do tell the parents, I think the parents might, unless they're super cool, might blow the cover because you might be able to go back and do this several times over.
Exactly.
As these kids will continue to think they're partying and feeling it. And you got free booze.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if the other parents are like kind of cool and on like your same wavelength, I'd tell them so that way they can also keep an eye out and possibly get free, alcohol.
Yeah. Have you ever done that? You ever been in a situation when you're younger and trying to party and probably were doing it wrong or had the wrong stuff and asking everyone, can you feel it? That's usually with like hallucinogenics back in there, and you're getting ripped off. You don't even know it. 6 hours in, you're like, I don't know if it's kicking in or not.
6 hours later, it's not.
Yeah. What else you got in confessions?
All right. This one's crazy to me. In the beginning of my relationship, I cheated on my boyfriend with his favorite baseball player. It was a random series of events and a longer story of how this all happened, and wasn't fully aware who he was until after the fact.
Nice.
Biggest achievement to date, and I can't even brag to the only person who would even care. No advice needed. I just need to get this off my chest because we just got back from watching the team play and I can't say anything.
Baseball players are man whores.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. I spent too many springs up in the west side of Phoenix where spring training was there, and saw these kids come in with fat contracts, being athletic enough and just swooping up all the girls. Every season be a drought. The only way you can get laid in Glendale is if you said you were affiliated with a team somehow.
Okay.
So I lied a couple times. There's no shame in my game. But yeah,
You're like, I'm just a bat boy. It's cool.
Yeah. You can't confess and you don't want advice. You just say, that's brutal. And now it's football season. Well, baseball season is wrapping up. So, it'd be interesting to see what other favorite athletes he has. Does he have any favorite radio DJs? Huh?
Can you imagine just sitting there and she's just like, there's the dude. There he is playing on first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just imagine the boyfriend wearing that guy's jersey. What a weird, cucked up situation.
Oh my
God. You understand? Like this guy, if he has like, autograph memorabilia, any kind of like cards or posters, I'm assuming he's not 14, but definitely the jersey with the name on the back. And just imagine you shag somebody's girlfriend and then that guy wears your name on his back. You own them both.
Oh my God.
That's a super alpha.
Could you imagine? Oh, I need to email them back and see if they've done like a meet and greet with this guy and the boyfriend's actually like shaking this guy's hand.
The boyfriend hasn't, but the girlfriend definitely has.
Yeah.
She's been greeted and depleted. All right. Well, that's an excellent confession session. Let's hit the reset. We'll have tickets to give away for our big ticket item this morning, which is Avenged Sevenfold. I know you want that. That's coming up. All right, we're back here on. Are you guys starting to do your video podcast yet? You guys working on that?
We're working on it, man. But sometimes things
budget.
around here a little slower than the Titanic. But
I know
we're efforting.
I'll tell you what. I've been paying out of pocket, and then I have to budget them and be like, hey, I'm fucking broke. I'm spending money on everything, so they possibly reimburse me. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get like a video stream podcast as well.
Yeah. Save your receipts, man. There's some really positive tax implications for you, even if it doesn't get reimbursed. You can use it as an expense, right?
Yeah, everything's a write-off, honestly. I mean, I'm going in deep on my taxes this year. So just everything. I was just like, everything is an expense.
Okay, so Beef, don't say that on the air because they're listening.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're always listening.
Always listening.
Oh, I know. I effed up a couple times. Yeah. All right, let me ask you this, guys. How much have you had to talk about Taylor Swift so far this week? Is that just like seriously the talking point of sports radio and sports television? Honestly, ever since Sunday, you mentioned it. If you were to give me an over/under, how many times you had to say Taylor Swift this week? And I know it's probably zero. The weeks leading up to this last week. So how many times have you mentioned Taylor Swift this week?
I mean, it's at least once a show before she started dating Jason Kelce. And then now it's like twice or three times a show. Travis Kelce. Yeah. So, but the interesting thing is like, we both watch, there's like film clips of football and we're like watching the film and trying to see what's happening in the offensive defense. I don't think I watched more film this year than Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce leaving the stadium. And were they holding hands? Were they not holding hands? What was the body language? How did they get in the car? Did he open the door? And then I just like fucking hit my head. I'm like, what am I doing, man? Yeah. What am I doing? Well, it's so good.
And I read that there was like a spike in his like jersey sales.
400%.
400%.
Of course, yeah.
Holy crap. Just because T Swift. All right.
Yeah, that's the Taylor Swift effect, apparently. He put it out there in the universe, so he got it. But the fact that it's literally the conversation now on the Chiefs and the number one conversation, are the Chiefs still playing football or
they are? Believe it or not, they got a game against the Jets this week.
Yeah. And the Jets are like, hey, Taylor, can you come to our game to divert away from how shitty our quarterback is? And then Taylor Swift is even on like Robert Saleh, head coach of the Jets. Why do you keep writing Zach Wilson as your quarterback? The dude sucks.
I know, but if you put him in a wig, he looks as cute as Taylor Swift. That's a good-looking kid right there. As a chick, Zach Wilson. If how the viral AI art of all the quarterbacks, it was just a couple years ago.
He was the most attractive.
Him and Joe Burrow,
but a little young.
Yes,
a little young, right? I mean,
yes.
For a guy that looks that young to be a cougar slayer.
Yes.
Right? You got to give
he
him a
banged
little
his
credit.
friend's mom, you know?
Yeah. He's like,
and that's funny considering the school he went to, the mascot. The
BYU.
Cougars, right.
Cougars.
Literally, he's that guy from American Pie that got together with Stifler's mom.
Oh, yeah.
Finch.
Finch.
Yeah.
He's Finch.
He is
He
Finch.
looks like Stifler, acts like Finch.
But it's crazy that with the Taylor Swift buzz, how many Swifties are getting into football now? You got popular Swiftie accounts trying to explain football to non-football watching Swifties.
Really?
Like they're going to infiltrate the NFL. And Roger Goodell, and Ali said this yesterday, is rubbing his hands menacingly because he's like, oh my goodness, we just added millions of more fans to watch the NFL. People are going to start watching a lot more Chiefs games. They're going to start buying a lot more Travis Kelce jerseys. This is great.
I'll tell you
Sitting
what.
in a dark room in his cave, right?
Yeah.
Like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah,
And he's
Goodell.
just like, I mean, it's
We're going to be on
Good
the
on
air
Roger
here. So we got Rock 102.1 KFMA, hanging out with Spears and Ali from ESPN Radio 1490 and their producer Andrew as well. And we're talking about the Taylor Swift phenomena and Travis Kelce. And you just brought up the point that Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, is super excited about this because it's actually adding more eyes on the product of the NFL. But talk about the pressure for this dude.
Yeah, man.
In a relationship, right? Now, first and foremost, she already has a history of, not having successful relationships, right? So you're going into it thinking I might have a good 3 to 6 month run.
Yeah, but it's all British dudes, man. She's been going in the wrong pool.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's
there's
like,
a list.
What do you expect is going to happen with some white pasty mayonnaise eating British dude?
That's true. I mean, Travis Kelce is a man's man. He's got that mustache. He's over 6 feet tall, and he's shredded.
Over 6 feet tall.
You got to do that in the dating world. You got to be 6 feet tall or above, dude.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't call his mom for advice all the time. I mean, she's on the right track.
Yeah,
and I think the dude is genuinely in love. Like, I really think.
You think he's smitten?
Smitten like a kitten, baby.
Yeah.
I think he's truly in love. Everybody's worried about Taylor Swift and her getting her heart broken again.
It's him.
I'm worried about Travis Kelce, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, and I kind of predict this, and I don't want to be like a naysayer or pessimistic, but it's kind of my thing. I don't think that they're going to be together by. I think right now is cuffing season, right? This is when people get together in relationships so they can go through the holidays and not be single.
Oh,
right?
Never heard of that.
Oh yeah, cuffing season is a thing.
Mhm.
So if you're single out there, hit up those sites now because these girls will link up just for the sake that they get a present on Christmas, and then afterwards, boom. When spring rolls around, they're single again.
They
Dude,
get past,
you
they get
sound
past
like a
Valentine's Day.
man who is talking from experience right here.
So jaded.
This
I'm
is
so jaded.
It's like, I'm going to have no girlfriend in the spring, but man, cuffing season, I'm on.
Yeah.
Like Donkey Kong.
I'm already saving up for the presents of my future girlfriend, whenever that may be. But with, I don't think they're going to make it past like New Year's, or they're not going to make it before the playoffs. And this is going to be bad for the Chiefs because you're going to have a heartbroken Travis Kelce. He's going to be dropping balls because his hands are going to be too slick with all the tears he'll be wiping away from his face.
Nah, man, this could be a great thing for the Kansas City Chiefs because Travis Kelce is going to get so heartbroken. He's going to be dialed in. You're like, okay, let me add on to my legacy as one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Let's go out and get this ring. Dudes, when they get heartbroken, and I'm speaking from experience.
Okay.
You get heartbroken.
I'm sorry, buddy.
You go into a place where you're like, all right, it's just work and nothing else.
Yeah, but how long how long does it take to get to that? Because, there's a period of time you're in a dark room drinking Maker's Mark and listening to, Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. It's like every sad song. And I know I'm talking to you out of experience too. So
yeah,
is he going to be able to bounce back fast enough? So I kind of agree with Beef, man. This guy is so smitten. If she breaks his heart.
And you're not just losing a hot girlfriend, right? Because there's plenty of hot girlfriends, and Travis Kelce or any NFL player for that matter have their pick of all these like amateur OnlyFans models girlfriends, right? So Taylor Swift, attractive woman, but she's also a billionaire, super like the most famous woman on the planet. You saw the story that after the game, she took Travis to a restaurant along with the rest of a few other players of the Chiefs. And paid for everyone's meal so they get the F out so they could enjoy PF Chang's alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a baller move that you're not going to get with any other girl. So, it's this whole thing where the power dynamic going into it, no matter how strong and powerful and successful Travis Kelce will ever be.
Yeah.
He'll always be just a little bitch in comparison to the super powerful Taylor Swift. And that kind of like dynamic is going to be a lot for any man to try to overcome.
No, man, that's got to be secure. If your woman, significant other, if she's like at that level, she's that powerful, she's like rich. If you're not just happy and you're that dude, it's like, I can't handle it. You're a clown.
Because like it's one thing if you're like Kevin Federline, right?
Yeah.
You're just, collecting the checks from your significant other.
Right.
Travis Kelce is one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
You keep saying that, dude. I've heard people say he's a poor man Gronk. So why what makes him better than Gronkowski?
I think Gronk is a better blocker than Travis Kelce.
There's 1 point for Gronk.
However, Travis Kelce does have the numbers as is a better receiving tight end. And I mean, he's a part of the new generation, the new dynasty with Patrick Mahomes. Gronk had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce has Patrick Mahomes. It's one of the best quarterback tight end duos we have ever seen. And when you look at the playoffs, every single time the Kansas City Chiefs are in crunch time, who do they turn to? Travis Kelce has been that go-to dude every single time they go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
I mean, that just seems like the winning strategy for Super Bowl teams to have that tight end option, though. I mean, in the past like 20 years, was that not always kind of like the go-to? Even when the Eagles won, didn't they have a tight end option?
Yeah, I mean, they had Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he wasn't the go-to guy.
Yeah.
The Eagles had a number of guys.
I mean, you're talking about Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, Kellen Winslow,
right?
And
Shannon
Travis
Sharp.
Kelce. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. He's more of a receiver than
Yeah.
a tight end. I mean, he's in that group, right?
Yeah.
And then
elite.
you shave the porn stash and maybe the 70s clothing and I don't know, what is it, the 1972 Camaro he drove out in?
Yeah.
I mean, the dude.
That's I saw a meme where he went from like hip hop to like country AC and just the style. Last year Kelce had the beard. It was very hipster hop kind of thing. Like, it had that swagger. And then this year he looks like he's going to what's the name of that country douche guy? Oh, Morgan Wallen concerts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it starts bagging Taylor Swift. So yeah, I guess you just got to switch up the facial hair to get the girl you want.
He went from "What's up, girl" to "You know how fast you were going."
Yeah.
License and registration, please.
Throw a pair of Oakleys on the guy. The guy, he doesn't even need a badge or a uniform. You just assume.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a narc, aren't you?
Yeah. We got more with Spears and Ali on the podcast broadcast. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. I got to see what your records are looking like on Pigskin Pick'ems. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not participating this year. But that's an exclusive. youtube.com/beefvegan. Music on the way from STP. It's Rock 1 2.1. All right, clear. Yeah, how are you doing on Pigskin Pick'ems? Who's winning out of three of you?
Yeah, I'm winning, and I'm either tied with or one behind Larry Mack, who must go down.
Yeah, how are you losing to Mac?
It's like, I think Mac is looking at my picks, and he's just copying me.
Okay.
It's like my little brothers.
But you're still like losing by one. What was the game that you know that he picked correctly and you got wrong?
Hell, I mean, maybe he's one of those guys who likes uniforms. So maybe he picked the Cardinals because the red really sparkles.
I guarantee you he did.
Yeah.
It was the Cardinals that upset you because you were definitely picking Dallas in this one, right? Was anybody picking the Cardinals to win any game this season?
No.
I mean, that came out of nowhere.
They've been playing tough. I mean, I've actually been surprised at how tough they've been playing.
Do you feel like they have a chance to go 500 this year?
No.
Not even
on.
500?
It's not getting crazy. No. They're playing at San Francisco this year. And I was telling Justin and Andrew during the show, it's like Don Meredith used to be in the Monday Night Football booth.
Yeah.
And when a game was over, he would sing, "Turn out the lights, party's over. All good things must come to an end." Yeah. I mean, they're playing tough, but they're not good. I mean, they don't have the talent to compete with the San Franciscos.
Well, let me ask you this. And speaking of the Cardinals, I've always been a big fan of Chandler Jones. And of course, that's John Jones' brother as well from UFC champion. What's going on with him? Because he's been hospitalized against his will and he's saying a bunch of crazy stuff. It's Chandler Jones. First off, it might be in the Jones DNA because they've all had issues with mental health. And this is upsetting to me. Was there any signs of this happening, or this just blindsided you as well as far as his mental well-being and basically his potential future or lack thereof of the Raiders?
Yeah, this was kind of a surprise. And I knew that John Jones, he had his issues.
Cocaine.
Yeah. But but drug
It's
use,
a hell of a thing.
it's a hell of a drug.
That will create issues.
That will create issues. But Chandler Jones always felt like a guy who had, I don't know,
his shit together.
I was gonna say keep his nose clean.
Yeah.
We're talking about
well done.
John Jones. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, one way to clean your nose. Cocaine. Cleans it from the inside out.
But John Jones, or excuse me, Chandler Jones, with this situation, I mean, he's making some very serious and disturbing allegations against the Raiders.
The entire organization, or just Mark? What's his last name?
Oh, Davis.
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Oh, he's
Simple Jack.
I mean,
also, he was in Tropic Thunder.
Yes. Yeah.
He's alleging that someone from the Raiders organization like sexually assaulted a family member of his, a stepdaughter that he was raising, looking after.
Right.
So he's going on his social media accounts making these allegations, and meanwhile he's been checked into a mental hospital. I don't know what's going on with Chandler Jones. Against as well. That's according to him.
Can I interject a little bit?
Yes, please.
All right. So the Raiders can't comment on this because it deals with a health issue, and as your employer, you have HIPAA rules, right? And then the second thing that tells me that Chandler Jones is in a bad place, and what he's saying needs to be really taken with a grain of salt, is you don't hear any of his family coming out and saying, "Oh, all these things are true, and the Raiders did this, and the Raiders did that." Chandler Jones has serious mental health issues, and I think he's talking crazy. Yeah. And the Raiders really can't say anything. So whatever he's saying, you can't take at face value.
So you're feeling that it is a serious mental health breakdown from Chandler Jones, and that's worst case scenario. I mean, well, no, worst case scenario is a kid being abused, but it is kind of sad because I did look at Chandler Jones. It seemed like he was a locker room leader for the Cardinals, and one of those guys who kind of led by example and was a pro's pro and really good. And of course, I don't know him personally, but this is just all surface level assumptions, and this seems just like a really bad breakdown mentally that could alter his life from going forward. It's kind of sad.
Is this foreshadowing what's going to happen to Travis Kelce if Taylor Swift breaks up with him?
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's bring it back to the Swiftie.
Who out of Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriends have benefited post breakup besides Joe Jonas? But even Joe Jonas, here's the thing. Let me give you some gossip. If you want some gossip about the T Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. So Taylor Swift dated Joe Jonas for a little bit. Joe Jonas is like 5'6". Taylor Swift, it was never going to work out. She was taller, but for whatever reason, he had game. He could sing. He put it down a little bit. He accidentally broke her heart somehow, some way. She wrote a bunch of songs about him. Swifties sing about it over and over again. Okay. Then Joe Jonas went on to marry Sophia Turner, who essentially is like a doppelganger of Taylor Swift in a way, a beautiful, tall, skinny blonde. Right now, Sophia Turner won't put down the bottle. She wants to keep partying. She popped out 2 kids, but now she's like, F it. She doesn't want to be a mom. And Joe Jonas is left there with the 2 kids trying to be a single dad. What does Sophia Turner do? She becomes BFFs with his ex, Taylor Swift, and they're seen together for weeks going out and clubbing the whole time while she's not home with the kids. And Taylor Swift, kind of vindictive like this, knowing that this is her ex, this is her ex's future ex-wife. And the issue is that, hey, want to be around the kids. You got 2 kids. Come home, raise the kids.
Well, Sophie Turner's been filming a movie, and then Sophie Turner's been filming a movie, hanging out, and then Joe Jonas actually has the kids on tour with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
So that's
doing dad shit,
right?
And now he's gonna be single dad, and he'll be fine.
9 years older than her.
You think he's playing a lot of Kenny Rogers? You picked the fine time to leave me, Lucille.
You're making a lot of dated music references.
Real. 400 children and a crop in the field. That guy had it. He had it tough, man.
I mean, when I went through my breakup, my now ex, played a lot of Taylor Swift loud and was singing along, and I'm like, come on, man, I'm not John Mayer. This is not me. This is like, stop with the Taylor Swift.
No, you gotta get worried if they start playing Carrie Underwood because she kills dudes in her songs.
That's true.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's when you can tell I'm really mad at one of my male partners. Is like I do occasionally listen to country and I'll start playing Carrie Underwood, and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta go."
Is that the one? Did she sing the song about the key in the leather seats and basically popping the tires?
Yeah. And then 2 Black Cadillacs is about the wife finding the mistress and them getting together and killing the dude. Yeah.
She's married to Tug McGraw, Carrie Underwood, or who's
No,
married?
I thought she was married to a hockey player.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
damn hockey players are smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth. You know, we got the season coming up here, and I had a meeting with the Roadrunners yesterday, but I'm such a bonehead that I double booked Roadrunners meetings. So I got a call from Debbie, our GM. She was meeting with Adrian, the marketing director at Union, and I saw it pop on my calendar, Roadrunners meeting at Union. I'm like, well, that's stupid. My Roadrunner meeting's at Rudy's Barbecue. I met with my game ops manager at the exact same time down at Rudy's Barbecue. So I had my Roadrunners meeting, but different Roadrunners meeting, same day.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a beef fan. I'm always team beef. It
Yeah.
sounds like the Roadrunners are at fault there. They should maybe talk to each other.
Yeah,
Right.
communicate. Yeah, yeah.
Communicate.
You're right, because Andrew, or like Ryan's my game ops manager this season. Adrian is the marketing director. They actually work next to each other in the building. I've seen it. So yeah, they could have communicated that for sure.
We want to do a promo at a Roadrunners game, and you're the man to make it happen, where basically Justin Spears will be put in full hockey pads as a goalie and have a professional hockey player basically just start
Check them or just throwing.
slapping those pucks. And out of 10, what's the over under on how many Justin can stop?
Oh, I guarantee you he'll stop 0 of them. Like any of these kids on any squad, even the practice squad, will get 10 out of 10. There's no way you'd be able to figure out where to block
What if
it.
he goes to a mattress firm and buys like a king size bed and just straps it to himself and walks out there? You think?
I mean,
Maybe
he's
just
already
by
gonna
luck?
look like Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks, but that's not the real. That's not how real life hockey works. I know this now because I've seen it. Am I wrong, Andrew? You're a huge hockey fan.
Not at all, man.
Yeah. So you would miss that.
I get one lucky on the board. That's it.
Yeah, if it bounces off his face, maybe that's it, and that's only because whoever's shooting those shots is just trying to be a
I
dick.
like this. I like
Spears is dying right now.
I like the spitballing here. So like we put him in the goal, we
Uh-huh.
do shots, right? And then can Spears take a check on the boards? We do that, and then have him try to score on the goalie. But he's got to have skates on. And will he fall before he? I'm the hockey Olympics for Spears. I think we might sell out the Tucson Convention Center.
Yeah. No, I do actually like that promo, and I will pitch it. And I'll introduce you to Ryan, the game ops guy, when he comes in. He's a young kid, got a huge opportunity. I mean, I think he's like 24. Youngest game ops manager in the country right now. Just kind of fell into the opportunity. But when you meet Ryan, you'll understand, and it's all about the haircut. And I want to give this lesson and beef tip to people ahead of time before we wrap up the show. If you want to be successful in life, you got to fix your hair, right? Some people have management hair, right? And that's my buddy Ryan. When he started working as an intern, I was like, this guy is going to run the show. And I could tell just because of his haircut. He had CEO hair at like 22, 23 years old, right? And at the same time, I'm looking at Weirdo, and I'm like, well, she's not going to be president of any company anytime soon. Can you imagine Jonathan Davis of Korn being like vice president of Merrill Lynch? You cannot. Not with those dreads.
I know, but you see the commercials with the guy from Schwab? Have you seen that mustache?
Well, the facial hair is different.
He's got the beard and like the mustache that's flipped up.
That's a power move, though.
Yeah,
that's a power move.
I just you're talking about hair and CEO hair, and all of a sudden, Andrew Trujillo's sweating. I don't know why. He's like,
CEO hair, baby.
Yeah.
No,
The
man.
Centaur, Andrew Trujillo.
You're gonna stay producer role with that hair, and then promo too. I mean, this is why I'm not successful. I always wear the hat.
I'm already swimming upriver on that one.
Oh, what do you got?
Not in promo at all.
Oh yeah, no, you're a producer. Okay.
Yeah, and he wants to know, have you gotten your TPS reports in yet? I mean, he's going to be coming around. He's going to be that guy with a cup of coffee asking you to come in on Saturday.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't cut your hair.
Like EBT.
It would have happened already if you had a better haircut. I'm just saying.
CEO hair.
Yeah.
Andrew Trio.
No, that's not CEO hair.
I just have like 4 CEO hairs on my head. That's what it is.
Yeah. And if you come right, when you meet Ryan, you'll understand. But to have the promo for ESPN Radio with the Roadrunners and have you do on ice stuff, like to be the goalie or any of that, and just to actually have you and Ali compete against each other, one of our on ice like intermissions, we'll make that happen.
Dude,
Yeah.
we're so in.
Yeah.
And I know they're holding a jersey for me because they got Justin one.
Yeah.
And Bob Hoffman, the president of the Roadrunners, is like, oh, don't give him that jersey until he shows his face.
Mhm.
So I gotta dust that thing. I gotta go get it.
Have you been to a Roadrunners game yet?
I go to like one a year, but I want to do more.
Yeah. Oh man, this season's going to be great because a lot of our games are on the weekends. First and foremost, a lot of good teams are coming through. Our boys are hungry. We had a good draft. It should be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And when we go into the Roadrunner season, we're going to do a lot of fun ticket giveaways, including our first timers club. So my goal this year, just like I was growing up in Arizona, I didn't dig hockey because I was desert. I couldn't play it. Right. I dug football because I played Pop Warner. I dug baseball because I played Little League. But, there wasn't hockey leagues growing up in Phoenix in the 80s and 90s. So I want people who've never been to a hockey game to be a part of my club. And then I'm going to set them up in a section that's right on the ice for the very first time.
Wow.
Yeah. And like best seats in the house. Basically, when my friends come to games and I see where they're sitting, I grab them. I say, no, you sit here. That's what I'm going to do with our listeners this season on a bunch of these games. And with the intention that once you get that experience, you'll understand the game and the entertainment value of this live professional hockey that we have in our own backyard. And you're going to want to come back time and time again.
You're a hockey dealer.
I am a hockey dealer.
You give them a taste of like the good stuff.
That's what it is.
Come back.
Give that first fix for free, baby. They'll come back.
Are you holding? Yeah, I got 4 pucks in my pocket.
That shit's strong, man. That shit's strong.
Yeah. Oh, we can't say that right now. We were on the FM side. If I had a producer, you'd know that, but no.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. It's all the time we have on our show anyway. So I do like to thank you guys for hanging out. This is a good time. First time, not last time. I mean, Spears, you always pop in. But this is the first time you've been on the podcast part, Ollie. So
Beef.
Yes.
Communities that celebrate together thrive together. And there's nothing better when you're working with people to just be engaged and be present, right? It builds a camaraderie, it builds a spirit, it builds an energy.
Yep.
Are we on the podcast right now?
We're still on the FM side.
Okay. So I won't say the word I was going to say, but just join Pigskin Pick'ems. Just join, man. And you know what? We're in all kinds of groups where, maybe there's 1 or 2 people don't want to have a beer with or hang out with, but you're doing a disservice to the other 99 people that are just cool and great, and they do a lot of great stuff.
All right.
So get over it.
All right, fine. But I'm making Weirdo do it with me, and then we're both gonna smoke you guys, and then we're just gonna be the rock DJs that have the better record on Pick 'em. I was only doing it just for you guys to save face. You don't want to get beat by me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 2 words, bring it. Let's go.
I just gotta let my eyes gloss over, and I'll just randomly pick because I have no idea what the hell's happening.
You'll probably do better than
Who's
everybody.
Taylor Swift dating this week? That's who I'm picking.
That's right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the show. Yes, sign up for Pigskin Pick'em today. I will sign up as well. You could attempt to beat us all and win prizes along the way. Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. Is it a pain in the ass to sign up though? I mean, I'm feeling lazy already. I'm like, it's gonna take me like 10 minutes. Is it?
I'm looking it up right now.
But if you've been mean or kind to
You're
bad,
fine.
I will knock out all your teeth.
I know. I do it so.
I should have. You kept it on the